In terms of Alex Eala's serve, she was winning 59% of her first serves in the first two matches she played.
Right.
Last night, she was down at 36%. Before the match, I said she had to serve well. She had to hold her serve. She served poorly based on this event. The standard of her serve in the first two matches was far better than last night.
So you needed her service game to get a little better, because she was really very good in the pretty good in the first and second. You needed it to get a little better, and sadly, even with the valiant effort that she put in, it actually got a little worse.
Yeah, the more she tried, it was clear the further away her game felt in terms of her serve.
The
And
first time I've ever seen frustration in her face.
the positive of her serve was that she won more points on her second serve. Even
Yeah,
last night in defeat,
that's
she won
unusual.
47%, but that was lower than the stats she had against Yastremska and Goff. So 23% down on her first serve in her match last night, and her second serve percentage was just 1 or 2% down on those two matches. So when we look at a player, you can't expect to play like Linda Noskova did last night. You're not going to play your blistering best every time.
No.
So what you're trying to do is bring up your standard to a very good level and be consistent with that, a solid level. And that as a benchmark last night, Linda Noskova played well above her average level based on the last year.
Yes,
And Alex, unfortunately, was below her average. And that
the gap.
between their best levels was like that last night. And unfortunately, that resulted in a very one-sided scoreline. But there is no problem in professional sport learning from a defeat like that, because it wasn't a case of Alex played really badly and is thinking, I lost that match. Yes, she could have served a lot better, but tennis isn't just the serve.
Mm.
The opponent's serve was unbelievable last night, and the opponent's ratio of winners to unforced errors was exceptional.
Mm.
And it was better, as I said last night on the watch along, it was better than the standard that Sabalenka and Rybakina produced in the Australian Open final.
If anyone wants to have a look at the watch along, just to see the commentary, which has got a lot of statistics and analysis in it, I'll put a. They do this, don't they? I'll put it in the links below. I'll try.
So we're not going to dissect Alex Eala's serve on this video, but it's going to be the big takeaway that we're going to look at in detail before Miami. So in the next few days, I'm going to focus on Alex's serve and talk to you about what she can do, not in a week, not over a month, but over the next few years to move that serve into a position where, a bit like Irina Sabalenka went through changes in her early 20s, to take her serve from being a bit of a challenge, a bit of a struggle, lots of double faults. She made it into one of the best serves in the game by the time she reached her mid-20s. Hence why she started to compete in Grand Slam semi-finals and finals and ultimately win the Australian Open, her first Grand Slam, a couple of seasons ago. So there's still plenty of time on Alex's side. She's certainly got 3 or 4 years before she's in that peak phase of her career. And we're going to look at what she can do over the next 3 years to take that serve to a position where she wins 3 points. And that is so important. Your serve is the only shot in tennis that can earn you 3 points, because no one else influences that moment in the game.
Just to be clear, that is free, not 3. It would be great if your serve won 3 points, but it doesn't.
So you're either making it very difficult for your opponent who gets their racket onto the serve, but it goes into the net or goes out because they can't control. And there are ways for Alex to achieve that, and that's what we'll be focusing on. And Linda Noskova last night had so many free points. She forced the return error off Alex's racket, or she hit an ace, or she set up the serve +1 shot where Alex was able to get the return back in court, but Linda Noskova followed it up with her court position, advanced in the court, and the serve plus one shot was either another winner or a dominant shot, which ultimately paved the way to her winning the point. So the serve is essential for Alex to relieve pressure and keep the scoreboard ticking over from her side. And this is something that Alex will need to do to take advantage of her strength. So we will look at that shot in particular, in detail, before Miami.